I gotta wait. How long I gotta wait for a press record?
Go.
Welcome to the share, where Miss Dream always has a story.
I'm Dream, a black woman with many beautiful interconnecting identities. A few I will name at this moment as we get started on this podcast journey together. A Bostonian, born and raised in the inner city, Dorchester and Roxbury neighborhoods, to a teenage single mother who has my whole heart. An educator, I've been working with youth and children since my teenage years, and formally, I have been teaching almost a decade now. That's wild to think about. An entrepreneur, I am the founder of The Chair, a black and brown centered tech platform dedicated to supporting people on their hair journey, where you can design hair boards, connect to hairstylists, and share hair care tips for a more joyous experience. I have a workable site, my prototype. It took me 2 years to build, and now I'm on this adventure that you're currently on with me. My goal for this podcast is to share stories, black stories, educator stories, entrepreneurship stories, and hair stories. I want you to leave each episode with the opportunity to gain new insight, just a glimpse into my world or the worlds that are featured on my podcasts, a little chuckle during your day or night, possibly a little anger to encourage you to advocate for justice, and hope to continue learning and dreaming. So come in and listen to the beautiful voices in the chair as they share their stories, starting with me.
Where we share stories in the chair.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Ashley. Ashley, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Ashley. That's it. No, I'm just playing. Uh, I'm very excited to be here today, coming live from the Bay Area. Yes. I don't know. It's always the open-ended question, introduce yourself. What do I say? Sorry, maybe I wasn't joking when I said I'm Ashley. That's it.
That is A-okay. There's one lesson you did when we were working together that I think about all the time, where
Aw.
you were talking about, I'm going to butcher it, but you were talking about the metaphysical, like your brain being open and closed.
Oh yeah,
Right.
metacognition.
Thank you. I was like, I know you know the word, right? Like this, I
Uh-huh.
think about that all the time when you were highlighting how, based on
Mhm.
metacognition, kids are having access to different parts of themselves.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Mhm.
then so through that, I spent a lot of time thinking about, okay, when we present these different parts of like our own self in our classroom, like passively, like when I hang up a rainbow flag or when I hang up the black fist
Mhm.
or hear all these things that are
Mhm.
hanging up, we're acknowledging just like simple representation. And then at the same time,
Mhm.
if I say, hey, I think you should be kind, and my action shows what kindness is, then we're having that conversation too. And I feel like at
Mhm.
UCLA and in our program, I felt like there were very intentional pieces of how to think about creating access all the time. Being like based on
Mhm.
mentor texts, what books we had for kids,
Yeah.
what couches they sat on, what colors were represented in the classroom, like
Mhm.
compared to
Mhm.
the language we used. And
Yeah.
so I think about the drawing you did. I think about it all the time. And
Mm.
when you talk about identity development, do you feel like there were moments in your teaching career and your other higher education world experiences where you saw direct identity development and indirect or passive?
Mhm. I think that there's where a moment with the student I think about a lot, where my student, she's this little black girl who reminded me so much of myself because when I was in elementary school, I was a little perfectionist, like teacher's pet, like I was kind of that.
Mm.
I presented outwardly as that, but then I've always been silly and like a little jokester. So I've always kind of had the balance between being the teacher's pet, but also being like the prankster, jokester of the class too. So, anyways, this little girl was similar because I got to see little sneak peeks of her being goofy and silly. But she always, I mean, when I say I ask a question, her hand was up by the third word in the question. I'm like, now, how do you know what the full question is? And so she was kind of that way. And there was this moment where we were doing a math lesson and they're doing the independent practice part. And so she's on her laptop and it's one of those things where it gives you that immediate feedback. You put in the answer, and then either a big old green check mark pops up, or you get the big red X. And so I'm walking around the room. Isn't that crazy?
Yo.
And mind you, she's in like second grade.
Oh,
so
geez.
why are we giving kids the big green check or the big red X? Like, why is that a part of it? But different. Let's talk to the egg tech people. So she's doing this lesson, and I'm watching her get these red X's, which is unusual for her, right? This is Miss Smarty Pants. And so I'm watching her try to like be resilient. It was almost like as if after the third one, she's like, all right, hold on, what's going on? So you kind of do that shifting of your seat. She's like, let me lock in. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I made a little simple mistake or something. She's like, no, I'm tired of these red X's. And then she keeps getting them. And I want to say by the end of this whole moment, maybe she's gotten like 6 wrong in a row. And then she breaks down. When I say the hardest cry I've ever seen and not being physically attacked by something, you know what I mean? She just was like lost all of her breath, lost control, just deep, deep, deep sobbing. And I come to her and I'm like, what's going on? Are you okay? Take some deep breaths. I'm trying to get her breath back first. It was that type of sobbing. And she's just, I don't know anything. I'm failing. Like she's saying all these things. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally watching second graders spiral deep over seeing this repeated negative feedback. And so, now mind you, we've done the lessons on growth mindset, right? We've done the lessons on mistakes are good. That means your brain is trying. Like we've done all of that. And all that's gone out the window. She tried to tap into that after the third red X, but now she's on the 6th red X in a row. And she's F all this, I am spiraling. And so in that moment, I was like, I think that we have to remember that sometimes we're going to get things wrong. We have to remember we're going to fail. But I can't just tell her that sometimes you're going to get stuff wrong. And also, you never asked for help. I watched some of this and I didn't, bad on me maybe, right, for not stepping in sooner. But I watched some of this and she never raised her hand. She never tapped a neighbor for help, anything like that, right? She just like pushed on by herself. And so once she was able to get her breath back, she took a brain break and did all the things. And she comes back and I'm working with her through the rest of the lesson. So by the end of it, though, we talk about making mistakes. We talk about not being well. And her homework for that night, her math homework that night wasn't wasn't a page from the lesson or anything. It was to go home. And I asked her a question, said, who is somebody who you admire? Who's somebody that you respect? And she talked about her dad. And I was like, okay, so your math homework tonight is to talk to your dad about what he does when he doesn't know something. What does he do? I said, who's someone you admire, respect? Who's the smartest person you know? And it was so sweet how she just went on and on and on about how smart her daddy was. And so her math homework was to go home and talk to her dad about what he does when he doesn't know something and how he handles it. And what emotions does he feel? What questions does he ask? What does he tell himself? And doing all of that. And so I messaged him and let him know like that was her homework for the night and everything and kind of what had happened in class that day. And then she comes back the next day with this mantra, this like motivational mantra that she got from her dad and felt so seen in her failure. And so for me, I know I was talking about racial identity, but I think that this identity development as a student, this identity development as a mathematician in that moment was really important. And I saw how she was shutting herself down. I saw how she used that moment as evidence that she was less than or unworthy or not smart. And I was like, oh, no, that's not your your identity, right? That's not your true self. This is just something, this is a moment in time. This is just something that's happening. But who are you actually? And so having her dad be someone that she loves and respects, speak into who she actually is and who she actually wants to be. And she wanted to be a doctor and do all these things. And so, yeah, so I saw this like shift in her as immediate as the next day. And I think about her a lot because I hope that she has continued to believe in herself and has continued to make mistakes and overcome and has continued to see herself as somebody who is capable of doing literally anything that she puts her mind to.
Where we share stories in the chair.
Look, it's my commercial. We will be right back.
It's more than just a bad hair day. It's a journey. Finding the right hairstyle isn't easy, nor is finding the right stylist or the right products. Looking in every corner of the web gets messy, overwhelming, and exhausting. All the ads, the articles, the products, the videos, it shouldn't be this hard, but it is. And now, it isn't. The Chair. A black and brown centered platform where you can design hair boards, connect to hairstylists, and share hair care tips for a new joyful path on your hair journey. Avoid the clutter, save yourself hours, months, and even years of research and poor trial and error. Everything you need and only what you need is in one place. Hair boards made by people like you, for you. Find the right products, the right people, the right answers for you, stress-free. Join the Chair community and make every day a great hair day. When you share your pain, you allow others to help you. And when you share your success, you help others get theirs. Lean on the Chair. We got you. No stress, no strife. In the chair, the chair, the chair. All right.
So when I think of identity development, that is part of it. I think that for the type of identity development I was talking about in terms of Black identity being called out directly and nurtured, I tried to do that with my class, especially me being me. The whole reason I'm coming into education, I'm like, I had these experiences in college I didn't think I needed to go to college to have, and I think that was messed up and really expensive. And I I was like, dang, I'm paying all this money to learn this. Y'all could tell me this a long time ago. That's crazy. And so I really did my best to teach my students, which is why I taught them things about like metacognition. Or I remember teaching them, the first graders, about intention. And so I'm expanding their vocabulary so that they have a deeper awareness of self and others was the point. But when it came to Black identity development, I think I was really honest with them. We had a lot of morning chats about perception. That was another word that we, in first and second grade, I was teaching a combo class. And first and second graders using words like perception, using words like intention, using words like metacognition.
Yo, I love hearing those words at recess. I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
That's what I'm saying. Girl, people coming up to me, Ms. Leach, he didn't have good intentions when he took the ball from me because he took the ball in a not nice way. I said,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, were your intentions good when you took the ball? No. Okay. Well, let's talk about why your intentions aren't good. What's going on? And so, yeah, but I think that being real about the world, I was thinking about a morning chat we had so I never had my students say the pledge. And so one day, I was like, I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. And so one day, one of the kids comes in and was like, I was watching a TV show and these kids were saying the Pledge of Allegiance. How come we don't say the pledge? I said, oh, okay, y'all want to get political. Let's talk about it.
Let's go. First grade convo.
First grade, let's go. Morning. You know what I'm saying? So it's 7:30 in the morning. That's what we talking about. And so we talked about what is allegiance? and what are we plunging to? And what are we and so during this from not trying to put my biases into it was hilarious. So I was like, wow, no, but we had this conversation about the conversation turned to perception because this was also around the time when what's his name Kaepernick kneeled. It was like took the knee, and so people were like, "Yeah, we have to do the pledge because you're supposed to take a knee," and all these little first grade ideas were just kind of coming up. But that conversation didn't get too political, honestly, but it did turn into what. Look, it turned into what it means to be black in America.
Nice.
it turned into it turned into identity, right? It turned into like a nationalism conversation. It turned into what does it mean to be in a place and look a certain way and have people think something about you based on the way that you look. And so from that idea, I created a lot of writing opportunities, art opportunities. We had been watching on Fridays, we watched Zootopia, and that was
Nice.
like such a rich movie for me to create so many different little prompts from. But I remember talking about that because I think it was the fox in that movie, right? Who was like being
Mm-hmm.
stereotyped and having all these prejudices against him. And
Oh,
so we were
yep.
talking about, right? Yeah. So we were talking about like how the fox had good intentions at certain points. And then sometimes it was like they were able to pick up on, well, dang, if you keep telling me I'm bad, I'm gonna act bad. You know what I mean? You keep telling me I'm slick and sly and you're gonna act like I'm shifty all the time. Well then now I just stole your wallet. And so yeah, so I think that some of my identity development and the ways that I tied it to like racial identity came from really organic conversations and then finding additional resources to kind of support those organic moments. But I talked all the time about how much I liked their hair. I had students with locks, or I had students with very dark skin, or I had students with various colored eyes. And there were most of my that first and second grade class was predominantly black. And so just being able to talk to them about their physical differences. That was something that was even like, what's the word I'm looking for? Almost healing. I think that was healing for me. I went to a predominantly white elementary school. I was always the only black girl in my class.
Mm.
And so doing the little games like bubble gum in a dish, where all the kids have their hands in the circle. And if I'm the one dark hand, I hated it. I hated it so much. Anything that reminded me of my difference, I was like not into when I was in elementary school. And so I really tried to highlight my students' differences and celebrate them in positive ways or give them, we talk about this in TP where we were given art activities where I would have different shades of different types of paper available to represent the different shades of the kid's skin or crayons or those types of things. I definitely carried some of those things into my classroom too. But yeah, I think having the honest conversation, making space for those conversations in the classroom was really beneficial for my students and getting them to think about themselves and acknowledge their differences and celebrate each other's differences was really cool. I was really proud of how I did that.
You're gonna be amazing, amazing doctoral student. I can't wait for your research. If you ever need anybody just to do anything for you, I am here.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's so many things about the program, about my advisor,
Mm.
are things that I couldn't even like are so exceeding my expectations. You know what I mean? I could have written out a list of 100 things I'd be looking for, and this program adds 100 more things to that list that I didn't even know I could expect or want. So I'm very excited. I'll have my advisor is a black woman.
Word.
I'm so excited for that. And she's from Detroit originally,
Ooh.
and then also went to UCLA. Yeah, so she has this perspective of blackness in California that she can compare to other places.
Mm-hmm.
She has a rich and deep commitment to Black E, and I'm so excited to partner with her in that and her understanding of our development and really the way that education impacts us. She looks right now she's focusing on mental health outcomes. And so I'm so excited to learn more and learn alongside her and do more. Hopefully change education for the better.
You will. Oh, and if you're interested to learn more about my experiences as a Black woman and educator in Guangzhou, China, I wrote my first ebook titled Nowhere and Everywhere, Captured Emotions of a Beautifully Broken Love Story. It is on lulu.com. Take a read and see some beautiful photography of mine. Enjoy the rest of the show. As you know, I am building a platform to support Black and Brown people on their hair journey.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
we've talked about hair. You've taken a couple of my surveys when I was like throwing all the things at the wall, and I was like, I just need some help. I need some thoughts. I need.
Mhm.
And you were so open and supportive. And I am curious to know, do you have a memory of the first time you fell in love with your hair?
When I fell in love with my hair, I think I'm like, dang, too really late, but I want to say I think I was in college,
Mm.
and I just remember wearing, prior to college, I think I only wore my hair out in its like blow dried state, maybe like once or twice, very rarely. I would do my hair is blow dried and then I'll put it in a bun. But sometimes I just wear the blow dried out afro. But I don't remember really doing that until college. And hearing so many different comments about my hair when I was a kid and how, like I said, I went to a predominantly white school. So hearing about how my hair is sticking up or my hair gets so poofy or my hair feels rough and blah, 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 blah. It wasn't until college that I was away from the noise of it all. In high school, I was in a predominantly Black high school, but my hair, I got a lot of comments about it, but it was like, this isn't Black hair. I have a friend to this day. You have Latina hair. You gotta have some Latina. I'm like, why is it? Where did you get that from? Or in high school, I heard a lot of, what are you mixed with? And I'm like, I'm just Black. So yeah, so the comments, right, were heavy and made impressions on me. But it wasn't until college that it was just like, I remember having the organic thought myself. Oh, my hair is so cool like this. I like how it bounces when I would wear the blow to afro. I like how it bounces. I like that it's full to the extent that I want it to be. I liked how it framed my face. I liked how my hair felt. I love Black girl hair products to this day, like how they smell, the smell of Black hair products. And so I remember being like, just walking around, and then occasionally I could catch a whiff of my own hair, you know what I mean? Like when it was out and enjoying that. So yeah, so I went through a good little period of blow dried out afro and loved it.
And on your hair journey now, is there a hairstyle that you love to do or resources that you use?
Now I am in a period of time where I'm like, how can I spend the least amount of time on my hair as possible? So I'm very much a like 2-strand twist person. Like I sleep in twists and then take it out and usually put my hair back. But yeah, I like the twist. I have my little curly bangs. So curly bangs and a bun. That's like my go-to look, mostly because it's simple, but definitely is a classic Ashley look. I love all of the Mael, those products, also for how they smell. I mean, what they do to my hair is like, my hair loves Mael for sure, but I love the smell. They have this rosemary oil that I'm obsessed with, and their pomegranate line I'm obsessed with. They have a lot of good smelling things, but those are probably my top twos. I love what they do to my hair, and I'm like, I gotta smell good.
No, that's great. One of my top favorite smells is in my top 5 is the smell of a Black hair salon.
Yes,
That's
like when the hair is pressed,
yeah.
like that smell.
That's
Yeah.
you walk in and it smells like hair press, coconut oil, shea butter all at once. And the only time you smell that is when you walk into a Black hair salon.
Yes. Yep. That's true. I'm like, it does. It's such a unique smell. It's like,
Smell.
this is very unique. It's very unique, and
And
I also enjoy that.
it's everywhere. It doesn't matter. Like when I was in South Africa and walked in, I was like,
Mhm.
there may be a slight difference.
Yeah.
It's like another smell, but here, California,
Mhm.
Boston, Atlanta,
Mhm.
everywhere I've been, I'm like, that
Mhm.
smell, I can smell it anywhere.
That's so funny. I love that.
Mhm.
Aw. I remember I went to Ghana in college and I got my
Mm,
hair braided and they were using like I guess like a gel on the scalp before you attach the hair.
mhm.
They're using this gel on my head that was like it smelled the black gel. You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about? With the white cat, the Pro Style.
Mm.
And so, but it wasn't that because I was like, please don't be putting a Pro Style on my hair, not today.
Yeah.
But but I love the smell of Pro Style, and so that was like it's there is something that I love that unifying experience. So there's something that feels like home when you can smell things that make you nostalgic or make you feel like that you're connected to. And so I remember that when I was in Ghana, like smelling that gel when they were braiding my hair. I was like, oh, I'm so like that.
Well, Ashley, thank you so much for sitting in the chair and sharing your stories. It means the most to me.
Thank you so much. This is so cool. I'm like so proud of you and all that you're doing and
Mm.
all that you've done. I'm like, dang, Dream be going. She she don't stop. She don't stop. Definitely, definitely a runner. That's what I was like. That's how I see you. I'm like, you are such a runner, such a leader. I mean, even while we were in PEP, the way that you so boldly and rightfully questioned things and advocated for yourself and for others. But I asked about you. It was really it's always inspiring to see that, and especially Black women being able to advocate for yourself. And I
Mm,
think sometimes it's easy to let things happen to you or just accept conditions for what they are. But I really appreciated that saying now is like, speak truth to power. It's like definitely felt like you embodied that in the purest ways while we were at UCLA. So I think that's very admirable. And I just know that that's still a big part of who you are. And I'm so encouraged by that. So please do not stop being you. We love you for all that you are. And I am so grateful that I got to participate in what you're doing. And I hope to continue to participate in what you're doing. You're always doing such cool stuff. So please reach out to me too.
Yo, yes, of course.
Welcome to the chair, where Miss Dream always has a story.
Thank you for listening to an episode of The Chair. I, of course, would love your continued support. Let me know what you think of this episode by doing all the things. Subscribe, comment, and come back next week, every week. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful day. Or if you are like me, enjoy that moonlight and that one star under all your city lights. Love you. Talk to you later.
The chair.
How long I gotta wait for a press record?
Go.
We support her. Shit.
Do your Welcome to the chair, where Miss Dream always has a story.